Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a playthrough of Dungeon Legends. This is a cooperative deck building game, and we'll see how it plays. And disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So Dungeon Legends is a cooperative deck building scenario-based game in the Avil universe. I've never played any of the other games in that game series, but I got to try this one at PAX Unplugged with my son and had a good time with it, so they sent me a review copy. And in the game, 1 to 4 players control 2 to 4 characters, so you kind of have to play dual-handed solo, although they do have a true solo mode, but like a lot of the games that sort of try to mash 2 characters together, I just prefer to play it two-handed. And you have this row, this playmat. There's a nice neoprene mat that comes in the game. And the player characters will be moving between locations with these things. The locations are keyed to the different scenarios. There are 5 in all. And I'm showing you the 3rd scenario. Now, this is not a game with like spoilers or anything. You can always play the scenarios in whatever order you want. There is no campaign. There's no like build from one scenario to another. And I wanted to show you one that's a bit more interesting and a bit more complicated. So again, this is a 3rd of 5 scenarios. But yeah, each scenario has a set of 6 location cards that are randomized each play. And then on this top row, you're going to have enemies coming out from this deck. 20 of the cards are generic that are used in every scenario, and 10 of them are unique to the scenario. And kind of like the Legendary series is probably the closest analog. You're going to be having the enemies coming out and pushing each other, and you have some enemies over here to start. And if an enemy is ever pushed all the way to this burn spot, to that castle, then they've invaded the town and you lose. You also lose if the entire deck runs out, so that's kind of your hard timer there. But if you can complete whatever the scenario's objective is, in this case I got to load a bunch of gems into this mine cart and then push it back to the castle to bring them home. If I can complete that before the enemies get pushed too far or before the deck runs out, then I'll win. Now, on the card play and deck building side of things, each player has their own player board. There are 4 classes in the game, each with their own starting deck. And you'll be adding advanced cards from a generic pool of advanced cards, so those are not keyed to the different classes. But to explain what's going on here, each character has their own toughness. Both of mine, this is the scout, by the way, both of mine have 5. They can gain dust through different actions, which is kind of your spending resource. Although in this game, unlike most deck builders, you do keep it between rounds. So that's why you kind of pull it down. So when it's on here, you have it, it's active. And then when you spend it, you push it back up here. And generally, dust is not used to buy the advanced cards. It's not used for deck building. Instead, it's used to interact with the locations in the scenario to get different things done. Each character also has a skill track. You can randomize these or choose. And basically on your turn, you can move this cube above one of the spots to use that power. And they go from left to right, and these are each once per game. So once I've used all 3 of these bonuses, I could use all 3 of them in a single round or spread them out across multiple rounds. Once I've used all 3, I can't use them anymore. And then you'll be playing cards from your hand. The basic cards are very straightforward. They have a certain subset of icons like moving, defending yourself from attack, attacking in melee, attacking in range, getting more dust. And the advanced cards aren't much more complicated, but they do have like a sort of foilish treatment, except that you can spend a dust to get a better version of attack. So it's either or. In this case, that's a teleport symbol, that little whirling, swirling tornado thing. You can teleport, or you can teleport and do 2 damage. And when you have multiple icons or play out multiple icons, this is a very important rule that's not really in the rule book. The rule book is okay, but not as clear as it could be, but it has been clarified multiple times on BGG. When you play multiple cards, they go into a pool of actions, and you can use them however you like. So I can like play these for 2 swords and that for a foot, and I could like attack once, then move, then attack again. So you can kind of spread out your actions however you like on your turn. And at the end of each player's turn, you flip the top card, which is usually going to put a monster in the leftmost spot. If there's already a monster there, they get pushed, and so on. And then you draw back up to 5 cards, and you go from there. So those are kind of the basics of the game. Now let me talk you through this specific scenario. Again, 3 of 5. This one's called The Crystal Thieves, and each scenario has its own set of pages in the book of chapters that kind of explains it. So what I have to do is I have to get crystals into this cart, which can hold up to 6 crystals at a time, and bring them back to the 7th space to the right of any of these things, which is the castle, to drop them off. And once I've dropped off 16 crystals, I win. And anytime I'm in the same space as the cart, I can use a movement, a foot action to push the cart, but not move myself. So you're going to need a lot of feet to get it really deep into the dungeon. Although I did super luck out, these locations are randomized, and I got the one that lets us consistently get a bunch of crystals just by spending dust, that basic resource, right near the entrance. If that had been all the way down here, for example, I think this would be a very different game than it's going to be. But yeah, let's talk about our locations. So on the left, we have the Fairy Sanctuary, and this one gets 2 of these little fairy tokens to start. And these are little things you can hold on your board. Each character has between 2 to 3 slots to hold them, and you can use them during your turn for whatever the icon is, and then they get discarded. This one, by the way, is one the Scout always starts with. They have a free teleport once per game to start the game. But yeah, so if we're at the Fairy Sanctuary, we can use the location once per turn, and it says for 3 dust, we can get a fairy, or we can discard 2 cards to get a fairy. And you'll see the location has 2 little crystal slots here. All the locations have 1 to 2 or 3 or 4. And that's because even though this location itself does not give us a way to get crystals, some of the enemies we kill will drop crystals when they're defeated, so we might want to go get them from the location that way. And if you're in a location with crystals and the cart, you can just load them in there for free. It doesn't cost any resources. The second one is Master of Traps. This one's in every scenario, so it's not really unique. But you can spend 2 to 5 dust, and you take the equally valued trap, and you put it on one of these 2 spots, and when a monster would be pushed across that spot, they take damage equal to the amount of dust you spent for the trap. So there, that would do 5 damage to an enemy. This enemy has 4 life, for example. I'll explain all the stuff going on with enemies in a second when we actually get to them. But again, that's in every scenario, so that's not very unique. Okay, Trap Lever. We can spend 2 dust to do 2 melee damage to the enemy in the matching location. Each of these is kind of a matching single spot. So this is a nice way to do some extra damage to tough enemies. This one is the Guild of Monster Hunters. If I kill a monster in this specific spot, I put one of these little guild tokens on it. And once I get 2 guild tokens, they both get removed, and I get 2 crystals here. So there's another one that's good that is kind of close to the beginning, because this one and this one both give me kind of persistent crystal generation. Yeah, the big one I mentioned that, again, I'm kind of lucky it's close to the front. The Dwarven Mine. I can spend 2, 3, or 5 dust to get 1, 2, or 3 crystals. And every time I cover up this 3rd spot, I get a free fairy token. And finally, Cart Control. For 2 dust, I can move the cart in either direction, even if I'm not in its space. So just another way to kind of move the carts besides using feet. Oh, and you have a little offer of 3 advanced cards, by the way. And you always have this action if you're in the castle. For 3 dust, you can get rid of these little threat tokens that are going to modify certain locations in the board and make monsters there tougher. We'll see those when they come out. But let's get to the Scout's first turn. Just jump right in. So we've got these 2 Knights of Darkness. You start with 1 starting enemy per player on the board. They got 4 life, so once we do 4 damage, they go away. Damage does persist between rounds. This symbol means each time you attack them with swords, they hit you back for, in this case, 2 damage. And looking at some of the Scouts cards, swords do damage to somebody in the same space as you. Boots move you 1 space, and shields prevent 1 damage coming back. So here, what I'm probably going to do here, I could do these 2 swords to hit him for 2, and these 2 shields to block his return strike. In fact, let's just go ahead and do that now. But then the only other thing is the reward for defeating them. Lots of monsters will have this little card symbol. That means you get to take one of the 3 advanced cards, and it goes on top of your deck, so you have it immediately for the next turn, or if you have a draw effect this turn. And this guy will also give us dust. All right, so I did 2 out of 4 damage and blocked his return strike. And then I've got these. Do I want to get the dust or just move twice? I'll go to move twice. So I'll move back to the castle and push the cart out once. And then I'm going to flip a card and then draw back to 5 cards. If I had not used all 5 cards in my hand, they would have gotten discarded anyway, so there is no reason to hold on to cards. And also, you can discard any 3 cards to get 1 basic action, move, block, dust, or attack. So if your hand is totally wrong, you still have some things to do. But yeah, I'm going to now flip a card from the monster deck. But importantly, the monsters that are already out won't do anything. So it's not like they're attacking us. Generally speaking, monsters only attack you when you attack them. All right, so what have we got? A Crystal Eater. So this one is one of the 10 that's keyed to the scenario. That's why it's got the Roman numeral 3 there. Ones that are not from the scenario but are in the 20 generic cards have a U there. Okay, so this means he cancels 1 sword against him each turn. So you got to do extra damage to actually get through his armor, but he doesn't hit you back at all. He's got 5 life plus crystal, and it says he eats 1 crystal from each nearby cart and location. So that means after he first appears, and each time he moves, if there's crystals on his new location, he's going to eat one of them, both capturing them, although when you kill them, they'll all go back on the location as much as you can fit, but also increasing his health. So the fact that I have no locations yet, probably a good thing. All right, and then the scout draws back up to 5. And what is this? Why do I already have an advance card? Because whenever you play a scenario, so you can play the game as a campaign, the only campaign, quote unquote, element is that you get to keep one advance card from the previous scenario to start the next one. So you'll have an 11 card deck instead of 10. But even if you play scenarios 2 through 5 just as one-offs, you get to pick one of the cards from the offer and add it to your deck. So either way, except for scenario 1, you're always going to start with one advance card. So next round, the Scout's got some dust. Got some movement. This symbol here, the little symbol, means that I can apply this to any one of the heroes, so I could move the miner instead of myself. That means I can heal one of my endurance back or move. And then my advanced card, this is a ranged attack, so the 1 is how far it can go left or right. You can't use it in your own space. Cool thing about ranged attacks is that they ignore the broken sword and they ignore the hitback, so you can just kind of do damage to people. And if I spend a dust, I get to do a ranged attack and draw a replacement card. Heck yeah. All right, now here's the miner. Characters aren't super different. Like, yes, they have unique cards, but they tend to be somewhat similar to each other. The miner's big difference is she starts with 2 dust instead of 1, and she has a max capacity of 6. But she can only hold 2 fairies. The scout can hold 3. And the skill I picked for her, she can move twice, then do melee attacks, and then teleport. But what does she got for this turn? She's got one of the enemies that the scout had in front of them. Oh man, now she's got 1, 2. She can get to 5 dust and go ahead and get 3 crystals out right away. Because if I attack the the guy in front of me, yes, I could do 2 damage, but he'd just wallop me back. So yeah, I kind of like that, actually. So let's do this. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 dust. I could give that to the scout, but I'm not going to. And technically, cards you play go into a play area like most deck builders, so that if you had a lot of card draw, they wouldn't get reshuffled back into your deck. And then I'm not going to attack because I want to get my butt kicked. So I'll just waste that one, but I guess I'll have her move back to where the card is. Oh, but first, sorry, I'm spending her 5 dust to get 3. Oh, well, that's right. I'm going to get a fairy, so maybe I'll change what I'm doing. Hold on. Because I covered the 3rd out of 4 slots here. So the fairy offer has 3 in it. This one lets you swap 2 monsters on the board. This one lets you cancel 1 of each of those icons when you attack a monster. And this one, probably the best. This lets you discard the fairy to not draw a monster card. So basically get a free turn. So yeah, I'm definitely going to take that one for the miner. I mean, it's a little wasteful. I'm actually not going to use either of these cards. Unfortunately, I don't have a 3rd one to get the discard for another icon effect. She's just going to chill here because I think it's likely the scout will push the minecart to her and then she can load it up. All right, and we got another crystal eater. Great. Okay, that one at least only has 4 life, though. And they are getting pushed along, so I got to kill some enemies here. All right, let's come back to the scout. I really want to push the cart. But first, I think I'm going to use this card to do 1 range damage and draw a replacement card, spending my 1 dust, which is a sword. So I'll do 1 more damage to the Knight of Darkness since he is 1 adjacent to me. Free and clear, do not get hit back for 2. Then let's use both these moves on me. I'll move to the card and then send it over to the miner to load up in a second. And you know what, even though I got no defense, I just want to murder this guy. So I'm going to attack the Knight of Darkness. That will finish him off, so I'll get a dust and a card in a second. Since I played no shields, I'm taking 2 damage. If you lose all of your endurance, then you double flip a monster card and the rest of your turn is canceled. So not a good thing. But I'm going to heal 1 immediately. Oh, that's right. I got a dust. And let's see the offer. So this one lets you teleport to any spot or teleport and do 2 swords. It's pretty crazy. This one is 2 swords or 3 swords with the dust. Insane. And then this one is a flexible one, or with the dust, you can do a sword and or any mix of the 2 actions. My scout's already got some ways to teleport, and those crystal eaters have no hit back, but a lot of defense. So it seems like maybe the axe is the way to go. So you get this, goes on top of your deck. I will draw it in a moment. And then I flip another one. Ooh, a ranged attack bomb. Awesome. And yeah, let's go ahead and get 2 more dust. So almost to the point where they can spawn some good crystals too, although we want to save up for the 5 if we can. And we took out one enemy. That's good. Dark Dust is a basic one. Just 4, hits back once, a little bit weaker than the Night of Darkness people. And going to give us a dust and a card. Cool. But yeah, you can see if you need your attack game to be pretty good because the enemies can build up quickly. Using the traps can help a ton with that because that 4 or 5 damage with that much dust can often straight up kill an enemy all by itself. The lever thing with dust turning into damage is certainly helpful. But then if I can, I want to kill him on the guild thing. We'll see if that ever happens. All right, so back to the miner. Ooh. So I specifically knowing I was going into Scenario 3, because this is a card I had in Scenario 2. I've been playing the game like a campaign. I specifically gave her this one that gets you a ton of dust. But to get the 4, she needs to spend 1. So I'll use this first to get her a single dust. And then I'll spend that dust to use the powered version of that to get 4 more dust. And she'll go ahead and load that up. That's 3 out of 6. It's max capacity. And actually, 3 for 2 is kind of the best deal here, isn't it? Because 5 for 3 is not as good of an exchange, although I guess you're getting the fairy with that. But sure, she'll go ahead and use it for 3 of her 4 dust. Get 2 more crystals and load them up as well. So that is almost at capacity. I think we can send that thing back. So here we go. She'll push it with that foot right to the scout. Then she's got these left. So let's plink the Knight of Darkness for 1 damage and prevent 1 of his hitbacks. So she'll just take 1 endurance damage. And she does have this cancel a monster phase thing, but I think we can wait until we're really about to lose before using that. All right, now we're at trying to decide if I want to kill things. I got a lot of attack this turn. I don't want to waste it. Okay, let's see. So if I use the cat to move up to twice, I can push this in. So that is 5 out of 16. That's a decent start. Although now I got to push it back out. Well, you know what? Let's murderfy somebody. I'm going to use my one-time fairy cat to teleport out to the really tough crystal eater. Why not? And then I'm going to use my range. I'll spend a dust to get the bonus card draw. It's going to plink the other crystal eater. All right, so I got to do, the guy's got 1 arm. I got to do 6 damage, which I can do. Okay, here we go. So this is going to be a little combo. I'm going to get a 3rd dust. I'm going to spend a dust to play this for 3 swords. 4 swords, spend 2 more dust to get 2 swords from the trap lever. So 6 swords kills this guy even with his 1 canceling of damage straight out. Now, unfortunately, I don't get anything for that. He would have dropped crystals he had picked up, but he never picked any up. But that also meant he was easier to kill, so hey, that was probably one of the toughest enemies I'm going to face in this particular level, so that's okay. And then I guess I'll heal 1 instead of moving. Let's see who comes to me. All right, and then we've got... Oh, so this is an event. You resolve it and discard it. It doesn't actually push everybody forward. And this is one that is, again, generic. The lights are going out. Roll the die and place the darkness token on the indicated chapter location. Its action cannot be used. You need to spend 3 dust to remove it. All right, so here we go. 6. So that's the mine lever. Here's the numbers, 5, 6. So we can't use the mine lever to move the mine cart more easily until we spend 3 dust there. Great. But the enemies didn't advance, so that's okay. All right, back to the miner. Can you kill that Knight of Darkness, please? Need to kill him so I can get some stronger attack cards. All right, so she's going to do 2 damage with 1 block. So she will take, instead of getting the dust, what if I just murdered him straight up? You know what? I am going to do that instead of putting it across multiple turns. So I'm doing 1, 2, discard 3 cards for 3 damage, which means I have no defense, so she's going to have to heal at some point. But I murder this guy completely, get a dust and a card. Does she want the teleporting one? Seems like for this scenario, movement is so important, and then the 2 swords will help too, so sure, she'll get this. And she does have 2 dust to put... That would only be 1 crystal. No, we definitely want to wait for 1 more, don't we? All right, and spiders. Super basic. 3 life, no hit back or defense or anything, no reward. They just fill up the line. All right, so now we got the scout. They got a ton of defense, but the only person who even has a strike back is the one little dark beast guy. So the best here might be to get some more dust to give me the extra damage from the trap lever. Well, actually, maybe we should work on doing a trap. So I'm going to move up 1 over to here. Then I'll attack with a shield to do 1 damage to take no hit back. Then I'm going to get 2 dust, but not use it yet. I want to wait until I have enough money, enough dust to get a bigger trap and just auto-kill an enemy later. Although none of this is actually winning us a scenario, so maybe it's a bad idea. Oh, okay, here we go. Threats. Here's the thing I had mentioned before. I'm going to roll the d6 and put a random threat token above the spot, and it'll boost monsters for the rest of the game. Okay, 4 over there. So any monster that is there will get an automatic hit back in addition to their regular abilities, which is annoying because that's the place that like rewards me for killing monsters there. We can, at the castle, spend 3 dust to get rid of that, but, you know, we'll see if that feels like it's valuable enough to do. All right, well, you know what? The miner is far away from all the enemies, so I think she's going to mine, right? That's what her name says, because she got this. So let's spend 1 to get 4, so we're at 5 again. And then she's actually got more than she can hold. Well, here, she can get 6, and then give 1 to the scout, so they can, again, get a bigger trap. And then teleport and move. Well, let's use her location and 5 over 6 dust again to get 3 more crystals here and a fairy. So this one lets you choose how a die will roll instead of rolling it like for one of those threat things we just drew. But I think probably this one might be a little bit better, canceling some icons if we get an annoying enemy. Now note that she is now filled up with tokens, so she might have to use that fairy that lets her cancel the monster draw soon. Yeah, then I'm going to teleport without boosting it and then use a foot. We need that minecart, baby. Brr, here we go. So let's get it back there and maybe like double load it if she can build up some more dust by then. Seems like a plan. Oh gosh, another event. Cave in. Roll the die and place the cave in token. There's another regular one. On the space between the hero path and the monster path, like right there. Heroes cannot attack monsters on that space unless they spend 3 swords to get rid of the cave in. So yeah, just slightly annoying things. Oh, okay. I don't feel like we were going to attack monsters all the way on the left anyway. All right, now it's back to the scout. And she is ready to murder again. The guy that's right on her has 1 strike back and 3 life left. So I could, without spending any dust, just kill him with that. Why not, baby? So that kills this guy. Ooh, gets me a dust and a card. 1 to 3 range attack, or 2. The bomb is a little harder to use, but if you get a ton of enemies and you're like in the middle of people, look what it does. You get 1 range attack to an enemy to the left, if there is one, 1 range attack to an enemy to the right, and then 1 or 2 swords to the person on you. God, that card is so good. I mean, my thief is kind of in the thick of it while the miner is taking care of the mining at the moment. So yeah, that seems pretty good to me. All right, what do I want to do now? I can draw that card, but I don't really want to use it yet. So you know what? I'm not going to spend the dust for this. I'm just going to shoot and then get a dust. Gets me to 5, my max. Who am I shooting? Well, that guy's way easier or harder to hurt, I mean. So let's plink him. And then I'm full of dust, but I'm going to be able to kill that guy pretty easily because I guess on the scout's next turn, if he's still there, I can plink him with the arrow, maybe plink somebody else that's come out, do some damage to the spiders. That'll be pretty awesome. So I don't really want to put like a really powerful trap here and have the guy waste it if he moves more quickly than I think. Maybe if the miner uses her thing to cancel a monster movement forward, that won't be a problem. So I am going to spend 4 to put the 4 value trap here. It should be enough to kill most enemies. Now, importantly, traps just deal straight up damage to monsters. They don't care about any of like the monster's powers. But also, you don't get the reward for them. So actually, the crystal guy doesn't have a reward. Neither do the spiders. Maybe I shouldn't. Well, whatever. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, they're not moving again. Oh, shoot. Shortcut. Roll the die and put the shortcut token on that numbered space of the monster passage. If a monster is there, advance it. From now on, advancing monsters skip that space. This one is terrible to get early in this scenario. I don't know which result I want here. 4. Oh, so I guess that the trap's a little bit more useful because there is no space 4 anymore, which means we can never use this location, but they're also going to never benefit from that threat token. Basically, the line is now 5 long instead of 6 long, and he'll just skip right over to the trap and then to 5. So I still want to kill him, though, and not waste the trap if possible. I shouldn't forget, I did forget for a second about my skill options. All right, Miner wants to get some stuff going. She got a lot of movement, although I would probably want to heal her. Well, let's get 1 dust for her, right? She's the one who needs it more at the moment. And then she can move into the minecart space, push the minecart to where all the crystals are. That's useless, unfortunately. Then should she move again? I think she should heal. Well, she's not even fighting right now. Now I'll just follow up the minecart. Why not? So yeah, that was 1, 2, 3 moves, so she can go ahead and load it halfway. And then I am definitely going to use this to not have the monsters move, because I don't want him to use that bridge. I want somebody else to use it. Bring those right back to the scout. Oh, man. I didn't get any attack except for the bomb. I can make this work. I'm going to spend 1 to do one. Oh, never mind. There's no enemies on me, so I'm not going to spend one. I'm just going to do one range attack to the left and the right. So that'll do that. So that'll hit the spider and the crystal eater. Then I'm going to move since I don't need to heal. Get 2 dust and spend them to use the trap lever to kill the guy even with his 1 defense. So that gets rid of the other crystal eater. And he gets no friggin' bonus for killing him. Annoying. Okay, and then I've got... I can give a move to the miner. Do I want them to push the cart yet? I don't think I do. Because I can see in their hand they're going to get a lot more gems. They can put another 3 in there. So I guess I'll just move back here. It seems like they're good being in the thick of it right here, especially when they draw back into their bomb. And I'll just waste the extra move. That sucks. All right. Phantom, basic person. They prevent 1 damage and hit back 1. The miner's fairy would be great, but they aren't near here. And gives us a card when we kill it. All right. Oh, yikes, miner. I've really given you a lot of ways to get dust, haven't I? All right, I will spend 1 to get 4. Then I'll spend all 5 of those to put 3 crystals down and get a fairy. What's this one? Ooh, trade places with another hero. That actually seems really good in case like either of them gets the perfect attack-focused hand or movement-focused hand to do what the other person is trying to do. Okay, and then I'm going to load her up all the way. So now we got to push her back. Oh, here, this seems like a good time. I'm going to use my first skill to get 2 feet. And I'll push and then follow up. And then I'm getting 3 more dust. Wow. So almost ready to do some more crystal shenanigans. Although you can't use a location more than once per turn, so I could not put more crystals there now. Okay, so 2 feet, 1 push, 1 follow-up. Almost got that one back. I need 16, so 5 and 6. I only need 5 more. Yeah, with that card boosting my miner so much, this might be a quicker scenario than usual. All right, but let's see who pops out. Giant Troll. Whoa. 6. That's a good one for the trap, although right now the spiders are about to go into it. Don't really want that to be wasted on them. All right, so what I want to do. Let's do a range attack and a draw. I'll do it on the spiders in case I get another range attack and I can just finish them off. Nope. But I can walk in and stab them. Or I could also, let's do this. Let's just use my skill to do 1 damage to them at range anyway. All right, so they're defeated, but no bonus for me. And I'll get my dust back. I could stab the phantasm. It's not going to get very much damage through, but sure. I mean, I have the cards for it. So that's 2 damage and a shield, which means, he's canceling 1 damage and hitting back. So the shield cancels his damage back, but I only get a single point of damage through. Yay. And I think I'm going to, if a monster comes out, I might need to follow him up or the troll up. So should I move? I don't need to heal. I'm a little worried I might be able to finish these guys. I guess the phantasm might be killed by the trap and just wasted a little bit, but sure, I'll move there. And then, pushing all the monsters down. Uh-oh. I did get my big axe back, but yeah, I mean, the monsters would not have to be pushed on the miner's turn for me to be able to actually follow up and kill that guy before the trap triggers. And the miner, holy crud, they got that again. They got other stuff to do. So let's push the cart into the home and drop off the crystals. All right, so boop, there they go. Woo! And all right, what do I do here? So I've got to teleport and I've got to move. You know what? What if I help kill the phantom? I don't want this miner to just be bored the entire game. So sure, let's move back to that location. I'm not going to spend the 1. Well, I guess I can. No, I can't do it. So I'm going to. I can spend 1 to get 4. Then spend 5 at the location. There's that same location to get 3 crystals there. Then get 1 dust back. And then spend a dust to teleport and attack the Wraith with this bonus, ignoring both of their icons. Sorry, to show that, I'm going to move there with the move. I spent 5 to get 3 crystals. Oh, I get another fairy. This one seems good. Remove 1 threat token if another one comes out in a nasty place. Then I teleport to be in the same spot as the scout. And I attack for 2, ignoring both of their icons. They're just straight up dead. Ooh. There's a lot of, the scout's going for the range attacks. Let me get this versatile one. I can always use it just for a move to push the card if needed. Well, I guess the scout could go back and do that. Panic attack. Each hero moves 1 space farther from the castle. And if they can't, they run into the wall and hurt themselves. So we're actually both right on the troll. Hey, that's fine. Because who needs a trap when you got some blades? Let's do this. I'm going to do 4 damage to the troll with a scout, right? 3, 4. I don't have any shield, so I will take 1 damage from his knockback. But he is nearly dead from that. Ooh, and he'll drop a crystal in his location if we kill him. Although, are we ever really going to push the minecart this far? Probably not. All right, and then. I got a lot of movement. Let's move both of us back to where the troll will go. And then I feel like we're close to winning, so maybe I'll just send the scout back twice and get them a dust. So that was one move the miner, and then there. All right, and each hero loses 1 toughness. That's fine. Although the miner is now down to 1, but I think it's the only card of its type, so we shouldn't get her killed. Oh, and of course, right when the scout decides to go over and help, I've been building their deck to only have combat cards, and they draw all combat cards. It's not too surprising, but okay. How about the miner then? Well, you know what? I have an idea for them, because they've got their 2 swords and their teleport up here. So let's use this for a shield and a foot. So I have a foot saved. Remember, you can save like icons and use them later in the turn. I should probably heal myself in case something unexpected comes up. Okay, but I got a shield and a foot. I'm going to use this for 2 damage. Because I'm going to use the foot to move in here. The 2 damage kills him. I've got the shield, so I don't get hit back. We get a crystal here that nobody's going to be able to use. And then I get a card. Dang it, none of these are the feat I kind of wanted. Well, here, 1 to 3 range attack is not too bad. Oh, and there's another one of those that gives a ton of dust. And I was going to have her teleport. I think that's still the right call. In fact, I think I'm going to have her teleport back to where the minecart is, and then discard these 3 to get another foot just to push it. Kind of wasteful, but hey, here we go. Because we just got to load that thing up with 5, right? We already got 3 waiting for it, and then winning. But sharp turn. 1 crystal falls from the cart to a location beside it. Move the cart 1 space towards the castle. Okay, so the moving the cart was annoying, but luckily it doesn't have any crystal to fall out. But it does mean we're kind of in a more annoying spot now. The scout is too far away from all the enemies because the enemies didn't move at all. So as wild as it is, I think I'm going to get 2 dust, get to 3, discard these 3 amazing cards to get a move, and spend the 3 dust. Oh, wait, crud. I was going to spend it to fill this up, but I couldn't actually fit it all yet, so I won't spend the 3 dust yet. I'll just hang out here with the 3 dust until the minecart can hopefully be brought over. All right, and a cocoon. A moving cocoon. That's kind of disturbing in its own way. Oh, I see. Like the fairy's caught in there. Interesting. Okay, we just need movement and more movement right now. Which sadly is not quite what I got, is it? All right, so I can move the cart 1 space to the left. There we go. And then what? Discard 3 of these to move up and then get 1 dust for later? Yeah, I think that works and good. The arachnid's going to be killed by my trap. Oh, I didn't even check. Never mind. It's another threat. This one shouldn't matter too much, though, because I'm really close. Yeah, it's a 5 all the way over there. And the miner's got that token to remove it if we need to, the fairy. All right, and now, don't care about attacking, but 3 move. Ooh, this is great. This is really good. Look, I can play this to have the miner move the cart, because it's another character moving, and I have a boot save for a second. So the miner pushes it over here. I load up these first 3. I spend the 3 dust I had from last turn to get 2 more crystals and load it up again. It did say loading up crystals doesn't count as losing the location, so I think you can do it multiple times in a turn. And then with my saved boot, push it back to the miner. And I think we can win, because I can do another boot to follow up, and 3 cards to push it back to base. I think that's 16, is it? 5, 10. Is that 13? I had 5. Didn't I get 5 just now? And then I had 6. Wait, what happened? There's no way that I loaded up only 2. Okay, I don't know what I did, but apparently I'm not done yet. I feel like I totally forgot to put some crystals in. So how many do I need? I need 4 more. Well, All right, and great, here comes some enemies. Good thing we've got the trap to stop some of them. Okay, now, so the miner's got a ton of dust, so she can get most of what we need really quickly, which means she won't be moving the cart for now, but I guess that's okay. So yeah, let's do that one just for a move. And then she's got 1 dust, so she'll spend it to get 4 and get 5 and put out 3 crystals again, so we need 1 more. And she gets a fairy. It looks like this one letting us draw 2 cards is probably the best. Oh, but she already has 2 fairies. So she's going to get rid of this one to get rid of this threat token in case it matters. And then she's got this left, but I don't really know if I want her to move. What if she just heals because she's at low life and just wastes the sword? And all right, let's see if our trap finally comes into play. It does. So Arachnid gets killed. We get no bonus for it. Trap is gone. But hey, it served its purpose. Now we got a couple more rounds. And okay, this is pretty good. The thief got a lot of movement. So let's see, 1 back to the castle, push the cart, follow it up. I think that's the best they can do. So 1, 2, 3. And then dang it, they have 2 dust. I wish I could spend it to move the cart 1 more, but I don't have the 3 to clear that. Although, I do have 2 boots. Yeah, you know what, let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to not use that. You can just kind of use it for nothing. There's no enemies within 2 range. But do 2 boots, because this is big. Look, I can move the cart, follow up, and spend the 2 dust to get a 4th crystal. Load those all up, so now I have enough. Wait, 5, 10, 13. Okay, never mind. I only needed 3. Still doing it. Why not? Because it's cooler. And now if I can find a way for the miner to push, which I think she actually has the right cards in hand, we will win. And like for real this time. Another threat. Yeah, that's like nothing. 3, okay. If you roll a spot that already has a threat, you just waste the card, which is pretty great. Okay. And yeah, I think I got this. Because I got boot, teleport. So I can do boot, teleport, boot. And, you know, the rules say that like when it goes to the castle to unload. So I don't think you need to be there to unload it. So I think I'm going to call that a win. Yay! And yeah, pretty solid win. The enemies didn't get too far, although I guess they were building up here. And yeah, we had a bunch of them coming. We didn't get too deep into the deck, but that is massively influenced by the fact that we had the mine cart to the right there, and that my miner was able to start with this card from the last scenario. That's not always going to be the case, depending on what's in your deck. So take this win being kind of easier with a grain of salt. The game can be kind of swingy, or whatever you want to call it that way. I guess, I could have just made things tougher and done something like that instead. But all right, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll have a review of this one probably in a week or 2. But until then, good gaming, and we'll see you at the next stop.